The relationship between beer and whiskey. Beer and whiskey, two beloved alcoholic drinks, share a fascinating and intertwined relationship. Both drinks owe much of their character to a common raw material, particularly barley malt, but sometimes other grains, and their production processes bear intriguing similarities. This relationship begins with the basic ingredients and extends through the intricate craft of barrel aging. At the heart of both beer and whiskey lies barley malt. Barley, a versatile and hardy grain, undergoes malting, a process where the barley is soaked in water, allowed to germinate, and then dried in a kiln. This malting process develops the enzymes required to convert the grain starches into fermentable sugars. For beer, these sugars are then boiled with hops and fermented with yeast to produce a wide variety of beer styles, from light lagers to dark stouts. Whiskey production starts similarly with the creation of a wash, which in beer is usually called a mash. Essentially, this is beer without hops. This wash is fermented out and then distilled, concentrating the alcohol and extracting additional flavors from the grains. The choice of grains can vary, with corn, rye, and wheat often joining barley in the mash bill for different whiskey styles, such as bourbon or rye whiskey. Note that rye whiskey and bourbon and so on is spelt with W-H-I-S-K-E-Y, as only Scotch whiskey is allowed to use W-H-I-S-K-Y. Barrel aging is another key area where beer and whiskey overlap, imparting depth and complexity to both beverages. Whiskey particularly benefits from aging in oak barrels, where it absorbs flavors from the wood, such as vanilla, caramel, and spice, with the use of alcohol. This process can take years, allowing the spirit to mellow and develop its rich character. In recent years, brewers have embraced the barrel aging, using barrels that previously held whiskey to age their beer. This imparts the beer with a unique flavor, those of oak and whiskey, and other nuances absorbed from the barrel's previous contents. Often sherry or port barrels are used as well. Beer, like barrel-aged stouts and strong ales, exhibit complex profiles, blending the characteristics of beer and whiskey in delightful ways. Beer and whiskey are deeply connected through their shared raw materials and production techniques. The use of barley malt and other grains, combined with the art of barrel aging, bridges the gap between these two beverages, creating a symbiotic relationship that enriches the world of alcoholic drinks. This relationship not only highlights the versatility and depth of these ingredients, but also showcases the creativity and innovation within the brewing and distilling communities.